Pitudos ban. So you say Kestrel? Yeah. All right. Now you did see the Inara ban come out from the side of Pitudo, so it seems like they just don't want to deal with Muse's Inara. Perhaps that they are going to ban that for the rest of this tournament. We'll see if we're going to get a 2-0 lead for the mods or if it's going to be a 1-1 after this game. All right. And as we thought, the alpha is not trying to go for an early fight. They understand that she needs to get to level 2, and then that's where the alpha really starts to uh, have a bigger amount of power. All right. Meanwhile, Petal is just pushing her advantage super early. This is what she's going to have to do. This Petal is going to have to just go on maximum aggression. They're going to have to play super aggressive, starting from right now all the way through to the very end of this game, which, might I say, they're going to have to try to end it before the mod team can completely come online. Now, Alpha does get that pretty big level 2 power spike. And Gumpy is trying to invade on that Grace, but the Pitudos are doing a little bit better job of sticking together at the beginning of this game than last game. So perhaps they learned a little bit of a lesson there. Um, Alpha picks up a couple of crystal bits and a light shield. So that's going to just provide a little bit of damage reduction, mostly on the petal, but also the CP portion of the Kestrel's arrows, those glimmer shots, is going to be negated. So the mob team rotates down for the second rotation of this, and who ends up getting that? It does go onto the Grace, so that's not as bad as going onto the Alpha, but it's not the hero that you want to see. Uh, a beautiful afterburn going right onto the Viola. I don't think Viola is going to be able to get out of that. Yep, the Grace uses her stun, her Holy Nova to just stop them from disengaging, and there you go. So they pick up the barrier treant and they pick up the kill. Now Alpha's invading into the jungle. Petal is back. The entire team of Pitudos is here. Did they stay too long? I don't think that they're going to be able to chase this. Alpha's just going to recall. Um, a little bit of a weird position, and now she's completely caught out. Uh, Alpha is going to try to walk out of this one, but I think all she's trying to do is waste time, and the side of Pitudos understand that they don't want to let too much time be wasted, so instead they go for the Grace. They walk over onto the Grace. Grace is going to try to steal that front barrier tree. Meanwhile, Glaive is just staying in lane the entire time. It looks like Grace did not get that front barrier tree, so a little bit of back and forth here in jungle. Um, I actually liked the play of not trying to chase that alpha through the jungle. You might have wasted, a good 10, 20 seconds before you got that kill, and you could have just chased the alpha all over the entire jungle. And with 2 lives, it would have taken absolutely too long. Now, alpha's going to be here on rotation for this second barrier trade. We'll see if she's able to get it. And now she's backing off, but she's showing her presence that she understands what's going on the map. Perhaps she's going to go for these front bears instead. Yeah, that is exactly what she does. Most of the jungle does go over to the side of Pitudos. Meanwhile, Glaive, I don't think, has left the lane. He's just built up a giant wave and has already half health that turret in 3.5 minutes. That's something that you don't typically see, is that first turret going down in under 5 minutes without a saw on the enemy team. So now here on this rotation, the Alpha is able to just use her prime directive to get onto that barrier tree the moment that it spawns. She actually uses the ability before the barrier train comes up to get onto it. And once again, just sharing gold in the jungle. The mod team does this so cleanly. They understand the rotations, they understand how to share gold. And already in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, it looks like they have a little bit over a one, maybe 1.5K gold lead just out of gold sharing. Um, and then a little bit of lane lost because Glaive was just in lane pushing completely by himself. It looks like Gumpy does steal that. Yep, that goes on to Gumpy again. He's just so good on that Grace. He's so good at using that benediction to get in there along with his Stormguard banner. Uh, and now there's a 3-man rotation down to this crystal tree, but they are surrounded. The good afterburn onto the petal. Once again, split damage. They're not focusing the same hero. You can see that Alpha's low, Glaive is low, but the entire side of the mod team is just focusing petal. They understand who they have to kill. If we could see a little bit more focus out of the Pitudos, perhaps they would be able to get these kills a little bit better. Kestrel does use her active camo to get a good stun off, but it doesn't matter. It's too little, it's too late. Petal's alive. The mod team, there was a beautiful team fight coming out of them, a little bit messy from Pitudos. And now Alpha is completely caught out. She might get a kill here anyway, but no, she doesn't even get the kill. Uh, so that was a little bit of a misposition on her part. The Grace was recalling, and the Viola was able to throw her Discord onto the Grace as she was recalling. Alpha saw it. Alpha went in, but then got left completely by herself and died. So that's a little bit of a gold going back to the side of Pitudos. Small mistake. We'll see if the Pitudos is able to capitalize that on any way. But instead, it looks like the mod team is being a little bit more aware of what's going on the map. The gold miner is full at 6 minutes, so that is 400 gold to each member of the team, whoever gets it. Glaive is rotating back up to lane, so now with the entire Pitudos team here, perhaps they're the one that's going to be start the gold mine. It's kind of bouncing back and forth. Uh, Alpha has an infusion in her pocket. Not sure about any of the Pitudos team. Glaive is just going to continue to push because Grace and Alpha think that they can burst this down faster than the Pitudos team can. And no, they were wrong about that. They get the kill onto the pedal, but I think that getting 1,200 gold each is a pretty good prize. Unless everybody dies here, because if they die, the turret goes down too. We'll see if Kestrel, a beautiful active camo at exactly the right time. She decides to go back in rather than continuing to run away. She dies. There's no ace. Petal is up just in time, but meanwhile, they're going to steal the entire jungle again. Maybe Petal gets the healing tree. Yes, she does, but that's going to be it. She pays half of her health for it. And I'm not sure how much farm has been lost on her turret, but that was a huge wave. One shot, one kill does come through on the Alpha, and now Alpha is just onto her second life. Viola goes through, gets a two-man sleep, but a two-man sleep doesn't mean anything if there's nobody around to capitalize on it. Um, so instead, they just recall. The turret finally does go down. Glaive has just been pushing by himself. The Grace and Alpha have basically not gone to lane at all. They've just been walking through, dominating the jungle, which is something that you really like to see in threes because, as we know, on the threes map, the jungle is just means absolutely everything. We'll have to take a look. Now, the next gold miner is being started. I think it's only about half full. So if taken, this should be about a little less than 200. Yeah, there it is, 180 gold each. Uh, Alpha just uses her to uh, uses her A to go directly onto that pedal. Beautiful afterburn by the glaive onto that Kestrel. Explodes the Kestrel health bar. They want to dive this. They think they're far enough ahead. I'm not sure how that prime directive hit. It seemed like it missed on my screen, but it did hit the pedal. Perhaps that was on the money. Glaive is not going to sleep here because he was a little bit he had slept too recently. There is a cooldown on the sleep ability from Viola, um, and that sleep cooldown is about 45 seconds. Here is an attack speed increase coming through from the Viola. That is her two reds B come or sorry two blues B coming through. Uh, Now they're a little low. I think Glaive goes down here. Yeah, Glaive does go down here. That's a very minor mistake. Kestrel does get the kill. Alpha's low too. Petal's alive. I think Petal's probably going to get this kill as well. And there it is. That's a pretty big mistake. It was a little bit of a greed. Those are bounties that are going to go back. Petal should get this kill, especially if that slow hits, which it did. Those are three kills. It's not an ace, but those are three kills going over to the side of Pitudos. Perhaps the mod team got a little overconfident there. Perhaps they didn't feel that Pitudos was going to fight them that aggressively, but they did. And with that, Pitudos is down by it looks like just less than 1,000 gold. Um, while I do feel the mod team is going to get stronger than Pitudos as this game goes on, Viola, if she can get a huge amount of scaling, her barriers just get stronger and stronger. And if they can keep Kestrel alive for long enough through the Viola barriers and the pedal heals, then she's going to be able to put out a lot of damage in this late game as well. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. However, I believe that the mod team comp is a little bit stronger in the late game. Now you see them starting to be cautious. It's not something that they were being just a minute ago. So now I think they finally understand that Pitudos are a team to be reckoned with at this stage in the game. Look at those barriers. That's about 20% of the health of every single hero, just as a giant barrier from Viola, and we're not even in the late game yet. Uh, the gold miner the gold miner is all the way up into the side bush. There is no way that the Pitudos know that it's being taken in that area. It's 120 gold each. I think they just took it at that point because they could. It's 120 gold each, 360 total. Why not 300 gold extra advantage? Look at that 1,184 damage coming through with that Alpha Prime Directive. And now she's going to start building defense to keep herself alive longer. Petal, interestingly, does have a Dragon's Eye. So if Petal's able to stay alive and these fights go on longer and longer, those Bramble Boom Seeds, those Munions, are going to start to really hurt, especially if Petal uses her trampoline and gets that percent crystal damage boost that comes out for a few seconds after she uses her trampoline. Um, Meanwhile, Kestrel, I have to see what she's building. Viola now is not putting the barriers onto her teammate because she has her sleep up. I expect her to use it here. Yes, there it is. Gumpy will block this. There it is. The sleep is blocked. And there is the Holy Nova to try to stun some enemy heroes. Again, another beautiful afterburn by Glaive. However, both teams are doing a really good job here. Finally, the Pitudos are focusing the the alpha exactly as they should be. The one shot, one kill would have hit, except for the fact that the alpha uses her prime directive to go onto the barrier tree, and she just goes back and again. Finally, the Viola goes down first. She uses her core overcharge to explode under the tower. Kestrel is alive. I think Kestrel might get a kill onto the Grace. I don't want her to go back in here. Please don't do it. No, the barrier treant even goes on to the alpha. Kestrel was just trying to do what she could at that point. That team fight was so close from both sides, but the execution, it was beautiful to watch. Everybody was living for a full 20 seconds before anyone went down. But then finally, the mod team just played a little bit cleaner towards the end. They did eventually pull out the ace, and now with the Kraken up, that is going to be the next objective that these two teams are going to be focusing on. I expect to see them both posturing around the Kraken. I think both teams feels like they're strong enough to contest, uh, but we'll have to see how they want to handle this, and we'll have to see if the Viola, instead of just trying to charge up her sleeves, which is an extremely easy ability to block, if she wants to use these variants a little bit more on her teammates, which is exactly what she's doing now. The divine intervention comes through on the alpha to give her an 800 health. There's the Holy Nova for a big stun. Meanwhile, the alpha is just chasing down the Kestrel. The prime directive misses on the Kestrel. The glaive and the alpha are both extremely low, but alpha has 2 healths. Meanwhile, Petal, I believe, does have enough health to continue this fight if she wants to. There's the sleep. And now Petal's she's gonna build up Dragon's Eye stacks the entire time. And here comes a barrier. I don't know if she has ults left. Yeah, it's just not enough damage at this point in the game. Meanwhile, Glaive has his ability to continue to heal up, and Glaive might go down here. Yes, he does. So now the Kestrel is back up alive. That was a little bit of an overextension. Perhaps they didn't know the Kestrel was alive and coming back so quickly. The Prime Directive was tried to use to get over the wall. It did not work. Instead, the core charge is used to get there instead. Petal should have 15 Dragon's Eye stacks at this point. That is not something you want to mess with. There is the Holy Nova. She uses it on the Alpha just at the moment that she goes in. A beautiful combination in order to just explode their health bars, and there are 2 deaths, though. It was not enough. The Kestrel is doing a little bit too much damage, and it's only the Glaive left alive. We'll see if Bits on this Glaive wants to try to do a hero play. He has 2 Tyrant's Monocles, a Sorrow Blade, and a Bone Saw. That build is going to just, if he's able to get on either one of the carries, their health bars are going to just completely not exist anymore. Meanwhile, Alpha is only going for a single defensive item, so she feels she doesn't have to be that tanky with the divine intervention able to come in from the grace and the extra healing that she gets from that. Also, the aftershocks are going to give her a little bit of healing. Um, but we'll have to see if that's the right decision. Now, the mod team has already started this Kraken, but Pitudos know this is going on. I think the mod team is just trying to bait them into mistake. There it is. The block comes out to block the sleep, and then finally the barriers come out, and Alpha is just running down this Petal. Yeah, Petal, I don't think is going to be able to get out of this. She's fighting it absolutely beautifully, though. The divine intervention comes through, and Kestrel's just wailing on the Glaive. The Glaive goes down, and finally, the Kestrel kills the Grace as well. And all 3 heroes of the Pitudos are left alive. Can you believe it? This is an ace coming through the whole time. The Kraken does go down to the side of the mod team, but they're going to be able to kill this Kraken maybe even before it gets to a single turret. So that is an ace. And at the same time, 1,500 gold coming out of this Kraken to them. I don't know if that does the gold swing, if that's going to get it back to the Pitudo side, but oh my gosh, the beauty of watching that team fight, Petal just kiting away from the Alpha. Alpha using absolutely everything, the prime directive, the core charge, everything she could use in order to stick to that Petal, but she just was not able to. Petal using the trampoline and the bramble boom seeds, throwing them on the ground to keep the alpha back in combination uh, with her spontaneous combustion, which is just providing huge amounts of heal, especially with Dragon's Eye stacks. Alpha was not able to do anything, and she's just leaving behind the glaive. And Kestrel now with her um, Kestrel with the active camo is able to just go invisible and kite around the glaive. That team fight was a complete disaster. The mod team is going to have to be a little bit more careful, pick their fights a little bit better in order to win the next one, which might be breaking out just as we speak. Look at how many Brambleboom seeds are on the ground. That alpha just took 5 Brambleboom seeds to the face, and she's going to be exploded. Meanwhile, Glaive is just winning the game. Um, he's going to get through these 2 turrets, and is he going to be able to do this in time? He just might be able to. One, two, three, and no. At the absolute last second, the team fight was just a bait. He just needed half of a basic attack. If he just got one single more basic attack, that would have gone through. I would like to see the side of Pitudos put a whole lot of vision down on their side of the map. Of course, we can't see that vision because we're only watching this from the perspective of the mod team, but I really hope that they do, because at any moment now they should understand how quickly that glaive can just walk into base and end the game at any minute if they allow it. Meanwhile, the Pitudos are going to be taking this Kraken. They're going to get the Kraken, and we're going to see if Glaive decides to just walk into the base or if they're going to stay and try to fight this at home. Um, so far, it looks like they're fighting it at home. Is this a misposition? No, it's not. It's more of a bait than a misposition. The Atlas does come out onto the Glaive, but then the Atlas goes down. And there it is. There's the prime directive to go in. They're trying now. The mod team doesn't know who they want to focus. They try to go onto the Kestrel, but at the same time, those Brambleboom seeds are just doing absolutely insane damage. There's the War Treads coming out, and to slow the Alpha's second health bar is down. That is a 2 kills going on to the side of the Pitudos, along with the Kraken, which they've already taken. Even though the death timers are going to be shortened every single time they take a turret, this should most likely be game. They're going to just jump directly onto that second turret. There's the second one down. We're not seeing it on the stream, but they're already on that third turret. There it is. And folks, that is game. We have a 1-1 tie on our hands. We have a match. This is going to be a best of 5. That means that we are guaranteed at least 2 more games. This is Mod Team 1, Pitudos 1. Unbelievable gameplay coming out from both sides.